Grand Rising, heathens. Grand Rising this morning. It's actually 5:49 a.m. Wednesday, Juneteenth. Alright? We're gonna get into this little video, y'all, about Lindsey Graham saying it's worse. It's gonna get worser. Because I told you they caught those ISIS migrants that crossed the border, and they was arrested. But they was released on Joe Biden administration, on his policies. You know what I'm saying? They was released twice. They was caught twice and released. And then they end up killing somebody. Let's get into the video with Graham talking about that we not safe, y'all. Let's get into it. We're going to take this walk through Trainer this morning, y'all. We're going to go through Trainer and wrap around. Come back down 9th Street this morning before this heat really hit us. Like I said, it ain't even 6 o'clock yet. 5:50 a.m. Alright, let's get into this video.
Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Told y'all we gotta be very vigilant, y'all. The government not telling us that the terror level is at its all-time high, y'all.
And after 8 illegals with suspected ties to ISIS were arrested in a multi-city operation sting last week, Senator Lindsey Graham, Senator Rand Paul, they are pressing the DHS Secretary Mayorkas for answers. Here with reaction, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham and Harford County Sheriff Jeffrey Gaylor. Jeffrey, I did notice that your governor is blaming the broken immigration policy on Donald Trump for the death of this mother of 5 and the rape and death of this mother of 5. This guy came here in 2023, and I'd like to know, how do you get to that point when the border was never more secure than when Donald Trump was president?
Sean, you are 1,000% right. I mean, I've been in office now 10 years. I've gone through from President Obama to President Trump, and the border was never more secure than it was under President Trump. The flow of drugs and the flow of criminals across the southern border in particular. My chief deputy and I were down there last year. The same day the vice president was saying the border was secure, we were looking at open gates and what unconstructed wall, no lighting, no security at all. And of course, they're not getting the resources. And we have a president who invited so many people to come to this country. And a lot of those are looking for a better life, and I get that. But mixed amongst them are the terrorists and are the persons, sadly, the murder of Rachel Moore here in our county. And we had another incident last year with an illegal immigrant who killed a young lady in this county, much in the same way Rachel was killed. Just unacceptable.
Grand Rising, beloved.
Yeah, and Senator, look, I'm sorry, but it's Joe Biden that has blood on his hands here.
Right.
Joe Biden does. These are his policies, and he's been lying to the country for 3 years. Now they decided to switch gears, blame Republicans, which is not true, because his idiotic idea would have allowed 5,000 illegals in before they even enforced the border laws. But the question is, when you look at 30,000 Chinese nationals in this fiscal year alone, which is not over, and 26,000 last year, and tens of thousands from Russia, Iran, Syria, Yemen, Egypt, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, Venezuela. And you tell me, are they coming here because they want a better life? Are the Chinese nationals buying up thousands of acres of farm, ranch land, and land near military installation? Are they looking for a better life for themselves and their families, Senator? Or is it the worst national security threat in our lifetime?
Well, it's the worst national security threat in our lifetime, but let's don't just pass over what happened to Rachel. The sheriff is a great man, and I appreciate his determination to get this case solved. But the man who's accused of killing her was captured 3 times and released by the Biden administration before he came back the 4th time. The man who murdered Laken Riley, accused of killing her, was released on parole, not because of a factor in the law, no space to hold him in El Paso, Texas. So there's 2 young women murdered by people that were in our custody that were let go by the Biden administration. They do have blood on their hands. And it's about to get worse. If they do this executive order tomorrow, allowing 1 million people here illegally to be paroled in place, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire.
And what about reports that we read over the weekend that, in fact, they're mailing out ballots, and some of these ballots are ending up in the homes of illegal immigrants? I mean, do we have to worry about that?
That was their plan. That was the Dixiecrats' plan, to let those illegal immigrants cross the border so they can get extra votes, illegal votes. You see what I'm saying? That's all that was, y'all. That was a plan to get fucking illegal votes to Joe Biden, the Biden administration. And they gonna run off if we lose the election, Donald Trump gonna deport y'all back across the border, which is only right. God damn it, you got these illegal immigrants over here killing, murdering, raping, and causing all types of mayhem. God damn it, there gotta be some type of control, y'all. America done lost control, y'all. It's out of control. It's out of fucking control, y'all. With this Biden administration, y'all.
Illegal immigrants. I mean, do we have to worry about that?
And like I said, y'all, they not gonna tell y'all that because these niggas is getting crumbs off the plate, which leads us back to the Boule. And we gonna get into that after this video. How the Boule is here to sell you out. They want crumbs off Mr. Charlie plate. They trying to imitate Mr. Charlie. But have y'all go out here and advocate this black power bullshit. And the whole time they advocating white power. Make it make sense, y'all. That's why I put that shit down, screaming that black power shit. Because these niggas is sellouts, man. Can't trust nobody in these black organizations, man. They all part of the fucking Boule to sell you out. Let's continue talking, Lindsey Graham, about the border crisis.
Yeah, you got to worry about a lot. You got to worry about a bunch of people trying to kill us. These 8 people from Tajikistan were captured, released, then vetted. So here's what they're doing under the Biden administration. They catch, they release, then they poorly vet. They let the people go, then they try to figure out who they are. We're dodging bullets every day when it comes to terrorism. Young women like the 2 that I just mentioned are dying. The largest number of deaths for young people in this country are fentanyl poisoning coming across our southern border from China. They literally have blood on their hands. The only criminal running for office, in my view, is not Donald Trump. It is Joe Biden.
Facts.
What he's doing to this country at the border is
Tearing
a
it
crime.
apart with the help of these
People are dying
Boule-ass
based on
niggas.
his policies. Nobody got hurt. Nobody lost a penny based on what happened in New York.
Facts.
But Americans are dying by the tens of thousands because of the policies of Joe Biden, the victim of Joe Biden.
Last word, if you don't mind, Sheriff. I am telling you, I don't have the law enforcement experience that you have. You don't need to be a genius to realize that when you have all of these people coming from our top geopolitical foes with ties to radical Islamic terrorism, that there are terror cells in this country. And 9/11 or worse is coming. Now, it's not a matter of if to me, it's almost a guarantee. I hope and pray to God I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I've been saying it over and over again. And I think the only answer, 53% of Hispanic Americans want illegal immigrants deported. 62% of Americans want illegal immigrants deported. They want the law enforced. Can that happen?
Well, it's up to Congress, obviously, and 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, as I said in my news conference about Rachel Moore.
We're going to come back down here, y'all. This Boule Street, this 4th and Boule. That's the old motorcycle club right there that them niggas couldn't put their coins together and buy the land. But if you would have came down there during their time, they had all the high, expensive motorcycles, the slingshots, and all that shit down there. It was all a show.
Killer. Again, we a small community just 30 minutes north of Baltimore. To have 2 of these cases where someone, we're not unique, this is happening all over the country. To have 2 of these cases right here Just multiply that across our country. How many people are losing their lives? And certainly, yes, I do believe that you can look at the fentanyl problem and the lives that that's costing, but I do believe that we are a threat of something much bigger and terrorist related because we just fail to do, so many elected officials. My oath of office is to protect the citizens here in Harford County. It's a public safety issue. That everyone in Congress and the President of the United States needs to abide by their oath of office and do the same thing. And we need to protect the American public.
Which they not doing.
Well said. All right, we appreciate it, Sheriff. Thanks for the good work you're
Just
doing.
wanted to
Senator Graham,
share that with y'all.
I'm looking forward to the day I have you on and being able to say, I warned you, told you this was going to happen. I pray to God that day never comes. Thank you both. Hey, Sean Hannity.
That's talking about that terrorist alert is at an all-time high that the government not telling y'all about. You see what I'm saying? So when a 9/11 take place, which it is, and I've been advocating this, that it's going to be another 9/11, worser than 9/11. You see what I'm saying? Because the terrorists are already here. They got terrorist cells, y'all. I'm telling y'all this shit. They want to keep y'all blind, deaf, dumb, and blind to the facts. You see what I'm saying? But let's get into this other video, the other half of the Boule. Them niggas ain't nothing but sellouts, y'all. They advocate black power, but in reality, they worshiping white power. And they want y'all to run out of here jumping all out the window, screaming that bullshit, black power shit, when these motherfuckers are in the bed with Mr. Charlie getting crumbs, y'all. They imitating Mr. Charlie, y'all. So if they imitating Mr. Charlie, what that make them, y'all? The black KKK. They the worst. They the worst, y'all. The black KKK is worse than the white KKK. That's a 100% fact. You see, because they raising war against their own peoples. Look at all the shooting and shit that's going on in most of these communities. In these African-American communities that's led by a lot of Uncle Tom, bitch-ass made niggas. The Boule. Look what's going on in Philadelphia. Who's the mayor in Philadelphia? But she passing all these new legislation bills and signing this and signing that. But it's not stopping the killing that's going on in Philadelphia. The #1 killer state in the United States is Philadelphia. The Biden administration been to Philadelphia since they've been in the White House over a dozen times. And you think they advocate for stop the killing and this, that, and the third? Hell no. Let's get into this other video of the Boule, the second half.
I picked up a toy for my precious dog from TikTok shop.
Niggas ain't to be trusted. Y'all told y'all that shit. Y'all gotta pay attention. These niggas here to sell y'all out.
Rights movement. So many people say, what could the Boule offer America's blacks
Nothing.
in the 21st century? So joining the exclusive secret society offered advancement and perks to the select blacks in return for loyalty to its objectives. Now, they believe in the talented 10th. Now, any of you know about the talented 10th, that belief is the best and brightest of black America, which is 10%, should be running to 90%. It's a very elitist mindset. It's wrong. Just because you went to a school don't mean you're smart. Because in this day and time, a master's degree don't guarantee you a job.
Facts.
You got a lot of debt. And if you're not smart with the right degree, you're going to have a piece of paper, debt, and still going to be broke. Right?
Facts.
But this is just the process. So it's while the majority of ordinary blacks were disenfranchised, the Boule members, they were doing good. This is historically, okay? Understand that. Boule members live a good life in America. They benefit off the system of racism and white supremacy. And they benefit off of your oppression and my oppression. They benefit from that. Understand? All these ones, Jack and Jill and the Lynx and all these little societies like that, they all tied in. Understand that. Notice that all the ones They all know each other. They hang with each other.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like other
Go
black
along,
people.
get along,
See, the
gang
problem that the
motherfuckers.
Boule have with people like us and Tariq and Yvette and Tone and Jason Black and Professor Black Truth and anybody else that's speaking out right now against this is that we're not part of the Boule. We're not part of their class.
Right.
And they look at us as a threat to destroy them.
Right.
Because right now they
say we
don't
crazy,
really have
we don't know
much
what we
use
talking
anymore because with the talented 10th mentality, it says you must control the 90%. And they lost control of the 90%. This is why you have Roland Martin, and I got to mention him because he is a Boule member.
Yes,
he told
he
me
is.
out his own mouth on Twitter that he's part of the Boule.
Facts.
That's why you see him wearing all this African garb all the time. He's trying to convince you he's black, but we're going to get to that part later.
Right.
Why they do that.
That's why they do that shit. I told
So
y'all.
they said that the Archons, which is the male Boule members, and their wives, with 112 chapters, make up the wealthiest group of black men and women on the planet.
We pause that for a minute. Right here, we in training, y'all. Environmental racism, I told y'all, runs rapid in Delaware County, especially over Chester, because we got this refinery here, and then we already know about the trash incinerator down there in Chester, along with this, and then we got Marcus Hook that sits on training. So environment racism is real in Delaware County, especially in Chester. You see what I'm saying? Especially in Chester. Let's continue with this. The Boule is the enemy to black America. Let's continue, y'all. Oh, I've been knew about Roland Martin, fat ass. If I seen Roland Martin somewhere in the alleyway and it's just me and him, there wouldn't be no more Roland Martin, ladies and gentlemen. His goddamn life would come to an end. God damn it, coon ass nigga. Look, check his show out, y'all. What he talking about? Talking about Trump and Biden and Kamala Harris, trying to get y'all on their boat. Joe's Lou's Junkyard right here, they closed down. They sold the land, sold the business, and they moved, y'all. This was #1 junkyard in Delaware County, especially in Chester, because it was right here. Let's continue.
The planet. Now, Archon means demon, but yet that's what they want to be a part of. And they like to keep that hidden. They say, but who does the Boule really serve? Well, you know it don't serve the black community. Now, it serves racism and white supremacy. And as long as the black Boule member conform to the rules, the riches will be in abundance, if not come down the hatchet. And they state that blackmail is also part of the deal. Now, the Masonic Secret Society has a pyramid style like all the rest. You know about the Masons and that situation. They say the lower ranks are careful knowing what the upper ranks know.
You need to come
Now,
cut
over
this
the
shit,
20th century,
whoever own it now.
Of Reconstruction. We put this up
Trainer.
on the screen, and you can see this is the Boule members, right? But I want you to notice on the screen you have 2 white people, and they're supposed to be part of the black Boule. That's intentional why they're on there. Now, Marcus Garvey,
It's like the NAACP.
the greatest of all time, the father of modern and past Pan-Africanism. He laid down the blueprint, okay? So he had his Back to Africa movement, and it was in full swing. And Garvey represented genuine black leadership. In other words, Marcus Garvey represented that 90%. He represented the streets. He represented the grassroots. Now, W.E.B. Du Bois, the founding member of the New York chapter of the Boule, he stated that the Boule was created to keep the black professional away from Marcus Garvey. See, understand, any person that's trying to take black people out of racism, white supremacy, and the freedom, that is a threat to the black Boule. Understand that. The Joy Reids, and now I'm not saying she's in the black Boule, but usually when you see the professionals, they in the, or they clicked in somewhere with it, right?
Facts.
Now, they say the remaking of the House Negro was necessary to institute a group of blacks who had a vested interest in protecting the elite white system. And they say shortly after founding of the Boule was also Marcus Garvey's time of Back to Africa movement, when it reached 1 million plus people without television or radio. Do you understand how significant and how popular Marcus Garvey was at that time period? He had no TV, no radio, and yet he was popular. And he had no Twitter, no Facebook, no Instagram, no YouTube, no nothing.
None of that
No
shit.
Messenger, anything, and yet he was that popular. Now, Du Bois emphasized, according to Steve Coakley, the importance to steal the black professional away from Garvey, because an Afrocentric organization that articulated and captured the black professional would give white people no safe haven in the black community. So the Boule, the remaking of the house Negro, was necessary to build up a group of Negroes who had an investment in protecting the white system and produced by whites having stole this land. This is post-Reconstruction. Now, taking away the articulate Negro, now designed to replace them with organized institutions to keep them away from self-improvement. So we find in the same period as the founding of the Boule, the founding of the 4 male Alpha Phi Alpha, Kappa Alpha Psi, Omega Psi Phi, and Phi Beta Sigma, and the 4 female Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta, Phi Beta, and Sigma Gamma Rho, college-based fraternities and sororities. We also find them at the NAACP and Urban League. Now, I know some people on this page may be part of that organization. And you may say, man, I'm not no Boule. I just joined the fraternity. I'm not part of any of that. You may not be part of the Boule. You may not be. Not to say that you are, but I'm telling you what was created, why it was created, and why all these fraternities have ties to the Boule. Not to say that you are. You may be in it. You may not be tied in like that. You may not be willing to do the things that they're willing to do to sell out black people to be in it. So I don't want to just indict everybody just in case you in a fraternity, because some of y'all in these fraternities, y'all get real bothered, like you talking about your kids when you mention the fraternities. I'm just saying. So they say now Du Bois is one of the strongest opponents of Marcus Garvey, and he was an instrumental tool in stopping one of the strongest grassroots movements in the century. What was Garvey's plan, right? We all know this. His plan was to take as many Africans from America and start a settlement in the nation of Liberia, and then help the new nation produce and control their own rubber crops and other industries and natural resources, okay? So Marcus Garvey, he stated that if the oil of Africa is good for Rockefeller's interest, if iron is good for Carnegie Trust, then these minerals are good for us. Why should we allow Wall Street and the capitalist group of America and other countries exploit our country when they refuse to give us a fair chance in the countries of our adoption? That's the same thing I talk about today. Is that you got China in Africa, the United States won't get out, Russia want to be in there, everybody want to be in Africa, getting all the resources. Well, what about black Americans? Why aren't we there even making any kind of business? I've talked about this so many times. Marcus Garvey continues to say, why should not Africa give to the world its black Rockefeller, Rothschild, and Henry Ford? He's right. Marcus Garvey understood that we cannot be a people without any kind of power. Wealth brings power, and the wealth is in Africa. Here, you're going to be sabotaged. Look at all the black men that get money. What happens to them in the end a lot of times? It don't end well. Didn't Eddie Griffin say on Vlad TV that they always got to have an asterisk by your name? Because they either got to dirt you up or destroy you on any little thing. That's why when you black men get certain amounts of money, you need to already have your escape plan out of this country, because eventually they may come for you, and when you even get wind of it, you can say, man, I'm out. I'm not going to put up with these people. Now, they said the two house Negroes made a bet that whites would come out on top and give a certain percentage of these greedy Negroes named Boule members the wealth they stole from Africa, right? So they say what's deep is that they didn't believe in African self-reliance and preferred to have whites give them table scraps instead of making the whole pie. Now, you have to understand the Boule represents the weakest element of black people. Understand that. They are the Stephen of Django Unchained. You understand? That's them.
Right.
They will protect the master.
Right.
They will do everything they can. They'll fight with other black people and also deceive
They
other
them
black
niggas
people.
that chase Kunta Kinte down.
Now, as Steve Coakley put it, he said it took a certain type of, well, he said N-word, to form an organization like this. He said, I mean, we just got our, you know what, kicked during Reconstruction. Africa was divided before our very eyes with the Berlin Conference, most of you who know about that. And he said, and this was 50 years before Rosa Parks. And I said, the question is, why were these black devils like this? That's what he said. He said, the answer may lie in the fact that the Boule is a Greek organization. And I said that on Twitter. They got mad at me. I said, why you got black people joining a Greek organization? You can't make an African organization? Or even a black American organization? Because Greek, that's, you know, white folks. What's up with that? Oh, they say, oh, he's super woke. Oh, boy, they was mad at me when I made that comment on Twitter. So, continue, we say it was about selling out brothers and sisters for power and money. Yes, that's what the Boule is about. They do not want to see us come up. See, all this talk about ADOS and black folks breaking away from the Democratic Party. Oh, no, that's bothering the Boule because they are the house Negroes, every last one of them.
I told y'all.
Now I say the majority are black lawyers, doctors, engineers, and accountants were members of the secret club. Now I'm not saying all black lawyers and accountants is part of the Boule.
Right.
Not saying that.
Right.
But they say traditionally
Let's
the
clear
people
it
that's
up.
in it is a tie to
Most
that.
of you niggas that run out there,
Now, see, the
oh, he's
Boule is
saying
another
all
arm of
black.
nefarious secret societies
Shut the fuck
that
up. If the
recruit,
shoe fit, wear
indoctrinate,
it.
and call for the dark forces. Now, you know, for me, dark force is the devil, Satan. And there's a lot of Satan in America. You don't believe me? Go to vacation outside this country. I just talked to, I was on a live stream. Nyla's in Mexico, and her and Taz is in Mexico right now. And you don't know Nyla and Taz, well, they make content. They're in Mexico, and she said she finally understands what I meant last year, is that when I got out of America, I felt that weight off my shoulders. I feel like at peace. I feel happy because it's a strong demonic spirit over America, and until you get out, that's the only time you really feel what I'm talking about. So they say there are perks galore. Power and notoriety are lying in wait for the easily compromised soul. So these people not only sold out the black community, but they're selling their soul to white supremacy. Understand? And that is the worst part out of it all. Okay, so in the Greek system, the Boule was the lower house of the parliament, charged with organizing the affairs of the city of the king. So think about that for a minute, right? Now, this is an ancient story. It said the New World Order is the Old World Order. The elite blacks of the Boule are culling and controlling their own for a slice of the elite white man's pie.
Told y'all.
That's what it is. They want table scraps from white supremacy. Let's talk about that. They want those CNN jobs. See what happened? Roland got out of pocket talking about the gay community. Understand? On CNN. That's why he's out of there. He broke the rules. You can't talk about LGBT. Oh, no. Because most of them are tied in with that.
Right.
So he broke the rule, and ever since then, he's been trying to get in good graces to get back in. You should see him. It's sad.
Tap dancing like a motherfucker.
The takeaway, folks, is that black society is modeled on white, and most political, business, and cultural leaders are chosen on the basis of their membership in a satanic secret society. We all have been betrayed by the most egregious fashion. A lot of them in this secret society members have, such idols that they have.
Idol
such
worshiping.
Aspects of daily lives of black folks, including children. Is absolutely mind-blowing, staggering, and continues to grow. It's estimated 70 to 75% of all black male lawyers are members of the secret society. Sigma Pi Phi. Virtually every black mayor, congressman, banker, or millionaire in America are members of the secret society or Boule.
Facts.
Now, that has been traditionally how it is. Do I believe all of them are part of it? No,
Nah.
but then as I was doing research, I saw Cedric the Entertainer, as I would put in Boule on Twitter, and he was talking about, oh, look,
And Steve,
we had the Boule,
Harvey.
68th annual Boule convention.
Steve Harvey part of the Boule
okay,
too,
you
y'all. He
all
out there
excited. Of
caping
course,
for
he's an
Kamala
entertainer,
Harris.
right? So
Y'all seen that?
Steve Coakley,
They talking that
the
fake
ultimate source
reparation
of
shit.
information of Boule, he said his persistent theme is that the Jewish financial elite has put a phony black leadership class in position of wealth and influence. Okay, this was Steve Coakley said. He said their role is to protect sponsors and perpetuate their hegemony. All right, so genuine leaders like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, who got their place, are eliminated. You know, so people who fought for the 90%, like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, anybody who fought for the people, they always been a threat and they always try to take you out.
Right.
Now, I say, ironically, Steve was hospitalized back in 2012 when he expressed the fears that they would kill him in a hospital. And he said this appears to have taken place. He was married, had 3 children. They say the late conspiracy theorists, that's what they called him at the time. Steve Coakley had this to say: anywhere there are prominent professional blacks, chances are they're in the blue lake. Okay? Now, I've heard this before. I'm saying this is what I've heard. He's saying that he thinks Martin Luther King and Jesse Jackson have been Blue Lake members among many other high-profile, successful, and moneyed blacks such as Barack Obama, Bill Cosby, Al Sharpton, and Thurgood Marshall. But remember, Martin Luther King could have been in it, but he broke the rules, so he was taken out.
Right.
Understand? He fought for the 90%.
Right.
Maybe when he was in the beginning younger, he could have been, but he see that wasn't the right. He fought for his people. He did everything he could and lost his life, you know, for it. Right. Now Malcolm X, of course, he had nothing to do with that. You know, the Nation of Islam and Elijah Muhammad. You already know they don't get down nothing like that. So they said the Boule,
but they was though, because they was Masons.
The members of the Boule,
the Freemasons,
pose as freedom fighters or civil rights activists on the surface. Hence, I keep bringing up Roland because he comes himself like that. He says he fights for the people. He's standing up. He talks about racism, etc. Right? But at the end of the day, Roland don't be talking about anything that affects them folks. He's not going to offend them. Right. Anything. Look at Roland's YouTube channel. Let's mention that. He don't get views. He don't.
Right. He don't
get super chats.
He don't get none of that shit.
Leaves TV One and gets a whole nice studio set up. Trust me, I know the cost of that. So where the money come from? Out of thin air? Roland not a millionaire like that. Right. He hasn't been on network TV in a long time. Now, network TV can pay you good money if you like the Don Lemons or, you know, who else? Anderson Coopers or Rachel Maddows or, you know, the main host. Right. Laura Ingraham on Fox. They're making money.
Good money.
Roland isn't there, so who's supporting him? Right?
The Boule.
So it said, in truth, the elite members of the operating for personal gain, the Boule works in concert with their masters in maintaining a group of Illuminati or white, I call it white supremacy, because that's all it is, just devilment white supremacy on their people. So the Boule is another arm of the Pharisee society that recruit and indoctrinate, as we talked about
Black
before.
KKK members.
Now they said that as continuing, also the Boule, and he talked about this too, because like I said, we talking about this here, like other secret societies, encourages LGBTQ practices, okay? They say this must be done to join the ranks, like the higher ranks. Now,
and I said that to say this, and I'm glad he brought that point up, because they mixing Juneteenth with the LGBTQ celebrations. Are y'all paying attention? They got them rainbow flags flying high as a motherfucker, along with the Juneteenth flag. Make it make sense, y'all. Pay attention, y'all. We here to bring y'all a message. You know, the Most High got soldiers out here bringing y'all the message. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. All right? I told you, we got to come up here, we got to scream at our peoples because we tried to talk to y'all in the past. A lot of our ancestors tried to talk to y'all, but y'all don't listen to talk. So at this point, we yelling like a motherfucker. Wake up! God damn it. Wake the fuck up. These people are here to sell y'all out. He just passed a migrant bill. He keep passing these migrant bills to benefit migrants. Meanwhile, in between time, we in the motherfucker America are suffering. You know what I'm saying? We in America is suffering, but he giving more rights to these migrants. Y'all make it make sense. And the help of these house niggas. The help of these house niggas selling y'all out. Giving y'all fucking dreams that never gonna come true. These Martin Luther King dream speeches and things of that nature they still speaking to y'all about. Man, that shit over with. These niggas are the Boule, and I need my peoples to wake the fuck up. I know a lot of us got them in our family. But when, like y'all would say, when we gonna break the motherfucking chains? When we gonna break the curse, goddammit? We coming to y'all to break the curse for y'all. Putting our life on the line, exposing these fake house niggas to y'all. Pay attention, y'all. They not here for us.
Tupac. Remember Tupac? He had talked about Quincy Jones had wanted him to do an LGBTQ act on him, and he was like, hell no. You know how Tupac was. And, you know, they said that. That's the things they would want done to move up in these ranks in Hollywood, the music industry, especially them two industries. I know many of y'all heard that. Remember Pimp C? Before he died, he said he was about to out everybody. That was all, you know, doing that behind the scenes, and then all of a sudden Pimp C, all of a sudden he's drinking lean inside of a hotel, and he isn't here anymore. Okay, he was about to out whoever he was about to out. I don't know who he was about to out.
The P. Diddy's and
So
all that.
About certain rappers you think that's, you know, straight, they're not. All right? So he said that continuing these perversions are then cataloged and stored on record. Later, if needed, these abuses may be used as bargaining tools in the ultimate game. So say, what is the ultimate game? Capturing human souls. The enemy may appear to have a white face, but it goes much deeper than that. You got to think about when it comes back to Marcus Garvey, they had made a bet that whites would come out on top and give a certain percentage, you know, to the Boule members, right? And then they said from the wealth they stole of Africa. So anytime you're talking about Pan-Africanism, or even if you're talking about ADOS, or you're talking about, you know, going against these black members of the CBC, you all messing with their checks.
Right.
Because, you know, in the Boule, they got to perform. And if they do not perform by being that talented 10, controlling 90%, white supremacy gonna get rid of them. They say, look, you are no earthly good. Why would you even be around us like this?
Right.
Why? You have no use to us in this society.
And they give you your walking papers.
So they also talked about Boule membership with some very interesting names. Out of the list, they mentioned Dr. Daniel Hale Williams. He performed the first open heart surgery. Ralph Bunche, he's the former UN ambassador. Arthur Ashe, you remember him, the great tennis player. Urban League president at the time, Whitney Young. They mentioned Martin Luther King at the time, Benjamin Mays, Carter G. Woodson, John H. Johnson, Maynard Jackson, the ex-mayor of Atlanta. Okay, all who died never speaking of the Boule and therefore taking the secrets of white supremacy with them. They talked about Hank Aaron, Tom Bradley, Dennis Archer, the former mayor of Detroit, Elvin Big E. Hayes. He mentioned Bill Cosby, Jesse Jackson, Earl Graves, Douglas Wilder, Lynn Swan, and David Dinkins, ex-mayor of New York City. Most Boule members of the successful group. As Coakley put it, yes, Boule is in your town. Anywhere there are prominent professional blacks, chances are they're in the Boule.
Especially Philadelphia.
And the great thing about today is we see it. It's not like it's hidden like it used to be.
Right.
Understand that. If you look at the logo that they have, they say, most say it's a sphinx, right? They said, but most would associate the sphinx with a tail, a solid block statue of our ancestors built in Kemet. But it said because we have been conditioned to accept without question, we never thought of looking up the word sphinx means, right? So looking in a dictionary would tell you that the sphinx is a third part woman, 1 part eagle, 1/3 lion. As they notice the breast and wings. So when you think of the tall statue in Kemet, does it look like a woman? Well, the breast. What about the wings? Original African name is Hergim Akahit. If I'm saying it right, make sure I'm saying.
We stop that right here. We at Cousins Market, y'all. This the only market Chester has to offer in Chester. Chester's the only city in Delaware County. And it's the only market they got to offer. Cousins. Cousins. This the market I was telling y'all about, but they down there building the motherfucking pond down there at Memorial Park. And Chester don't even have no market, name brand market. This their market right here, y'all. This is Chester's market right here. The only market in Chester is right here. This is the only market that they has to offer for the Chester residents. No name brand market, no ShopRite, No motherfucking giants. None of that shit. It's fucking cousins. Fucking kind of market is that, y'all? No motherfucking market. Bring a name brand market down this motherfucker. Eating out of cousins. That fucking food only lasts 3 days after you put that shit in your refrigerator. There ain't no motherfucking market. It's a fucking store, a corner store, goddammit. Let's continue.
Saying that right. I say which means pool of the horizon and has the face of a building. Okay? When you look at the definition of sphinx, it means to strangle, guard, gatekeeper, or protect. You know all these black politicians, especially them, these black people in media, they're gatekeepers. All of them are gatekeepers. And we have to brand
Recognize them.
every single one of them as gatekeepers.
Right.
Because they're preventing black people from being free.
Facts.
And when we talk about this, we have to push that message that all of them are gatekeepers, just as much as Al Green is a gatekeeper, Sheila Jackson Lee is a gatekeeper, Elijah Cummings, all of them are gatekeepers, right?
All of them y'all see out there advocating for Joe Biden.
This beast was the guardian of the city,
the gatekeepers
of Thebes. So she sat on the cliff, on the path leading to the city. So anyone they wanted to enter Thebes had to first confront the Sphinx. The Sphinx would ask one simple riddle. If you didn't know the answer, she would devour you, tearing you to pieces. Okay? So they said the king, Creon, was upset that many people weren't able to enter his city. He consulted a homosexual named Oedipus. Notice homosexuality was the norm in Grecian culture. That's true. If you study that, you know that. All the things they did with boys and all that, and that was their culture. That wasn't African culture. That was European culture.
Facts.
So they said the king offered his crown his daughter if he could kill the Sphinx. So he bounced to where she was, and she asked him the riddle, what has one voice and goes out on 4 feet, on 2 feet, and on 3, where the more feet it goes, on the weaker it be? Oedipus responded, man, who crawls on all fours as a baby, then walks on 2 as an adult, and walks on a cane old age. After answering the riddle correctly, the Sphinx committed suicide by jumping off the cliff, and Oedipus was claimed the king of Thebes for outsmarting the beast. Okay? So we're just talking about history, etc. Now, they said the statue faced to the east because our ancestors knew the pineal gland is the seat of the African soul, and when the sun rises in the east, it hits the forehead, pineal gland, suppressing the beastly nature of man. Okay? That's just kind of like
Grand
what
Rise
the
right there. See
belief
that?
system is. Black leaders, and you always talk about somebody as a leader, right? That comes from white America. They give you your leaders.
Right.
And they say the black leaders white America gave us, right, actually had an allegiance to white supremacy. We know this. This is why you don't want to be branded as a leader. You notice we say, I ain't no leader.
Right.
Because they're always trying to label a black person a leader. Oh, you're a leader. She's a leader. No, nobody no leader. We all part of one community, right? So back in the 1900s, when we weren't even 40 years out of slavery, the house Negro, field Negro mentality was still in existence. Most Africans at that time had gone through so much self-denial. The old cliche, if you're black, get back. If you're brown, stick around. If you're yellow, you're mellow. And if you're white, you're all right. It was rampant, and most of our ancestors lost themselves through bleaching their skin, cooking their hair, and speaking civilized in order to be seen different than the field Negro. So yes, you know, bleaching of the skin was going on way back then.
Runs
you have to
rampant
understand
in the
that.
African American
So
community.
they say you also have to realize that most of our
Ice-T
co-founders of the
bleaching
black
his skin.
organizations were mulattoes or very light skinned.
Little path
They
right
say
here.
these house Negroes also felt that they were better than dark-skinned blacks. Colorism, right? And we know about that. A lot of quote-unquote mulattoes at that time period was definitely trying to make sure they had allegiance with racism and white supremacy. And so they went on their way to prove to whites they were different because we were now free. Whites still need to keep an eye on us. They needed an overseer. This is why at the same time as the founding of the Boule, we founded the founding of the NAACP and Urban League. These black organizations were co-founded by Jewish spies who used Du Bois as a scapegoat. One of the co-founders of the NAACP, he
Pulaski
was also
here,
very
y'all.
influential in founding the
sorry,
Boule.
y'all.
His name was Joel Spingarn.
I'm into this video, but this old Pulaski here, they knocked it down. Pulaski Middle School. Know what I'm saying? School I went to ain't learned a goddamn thing. You heard? Ain't learned shit up in that motherfucker, y'all. Real talk. I ain't learned shit up in that motherfucker. A lot of y'all can testify to that too. In a lot of these schools.
About racism, white supremacy, to make sure they in the leaders with racism, white supremacy. I said they went on their way to prove to whites they were different because we were now free. Whites still need to keep an eye on us. They needed an overseer. This is why at the same time as the founding of the Boule, we founded the founding of the NAACP and Urban League. These black organizations were co-founded by, Jewish spies who used Du Bois as a scapegoat.
Right.
One of the co-founders of the NAACP, he was also very influential in founding the Boule. His name was Joel Spingarn, okay? And a lot of us didn't know about these organizations. We thought they fought for the people, but a lot of them was tied in. Look at the NAACP today. What do? The NAACP don't do anything. The Urban League don't do anything, but they say they fight for black people. They want to make sure to put someone extremely light-skinned in the leadership. Have you noticed that? No different than this here today. I'm just making sure I point that out to you. So they said that they see that the NAACP doesn't even own the building of the national headquarters is located at. They say with all the loot the NAACP gets annually, they still have to pay rent to a building. That's because they have to answer to someone, which is the white supremacy system, who's the major fundraiser. They say while we were being lynched, raped, they say we thought these organizations would help fight for justice. Later, to find out our leaders answer to the very one with the blood on their hands. That's why a lot of people say Al Sharpton and all them other ones. Like, how is it that they still get to run around and yet Al Sharpton got a job? If nothing told you anything when Al Sharpton got a job at MSNBC, how you fight against racism and white supremacy but they could offer you a job at MSNBC?
Right.
What's up with that, right? So they say that if you look at the Boule closely, you find a confusion of values. They say black men who felt their advancement was edged upon positive relationship with wealthy, influential white people, and at the same time, they have an adverse impact on our revolution, okay? Also stated, Boule means advisor to the king. You got to remember that. Now, the Boule, to wrap up, have taken a sworn oath to maintain the state of white supremacy and to never let you know that whites rule the world. But now the cat's out the bag.
Right.
We know about racism, white supremacy. They can't do that anymore. But they have a house Negro mentality, and they want to make sure that white supremacy maintains in the earth. This is why, if you look at the Haitian Revolution back in 1804, the Haitians dealt with the house Negro first. Mm-hmm. That's what they didn't go after the French. They dealt with them first. Because they know if we didn't deal with them, they're going to come back and they're going to destroy what we're trying to do is get free.
Right.
Okay? So the Boule, these black leaders, all that, they must be highly rejected. This talented 10th Negro mentality must be highly rejected. We must be suspect of any of them as part of a Greek organization. We must just be suspect until you prove to us that you're not part of anything. As I stated before, we getting deep into way white supremacy works. And some of y'all join fraternities, I know, to say, well, you join fraternities to maybe have a sense of belonging. You
be
feel
part
you
of
kind
a
person
get
need
along,
to be a part of a club, or it may be certain advantages. But think about it: why is it an advantage to join a fraternity? Why you got to join a fraternity instead of just joining with your people? Mm-hmm. Why can't you do that? Why have you separated yourself into some Greek organization to do something? I'm saying, just think about it a little bit. Why is it that you're getting advantage versus the other black college students that didn't get in part of this organization? I'm just saying, think about this a little bit. Think about what I'm saying here. This is not a condemnation to nobody that's in a fraternity. I'm just saying, think about a little bit the motivations as to why you join, right? So the Boule itself, you know, that they get the high paid salaries, they can get their own businesses, you know, they're allowed to be successful in America. I mean, you know, and at the end of the day, their businesses get swallowed up by white people. Think about that. When you're part of this Boule, as long as they keep tabs on black people, as long as they prevent black progress, and they come to us act like, oh yeah, we fight against racism, that's racist. Listen, the white liberals say other white people are racist, but will they change the system of inequality? When they change the system of you being murdered in the street for anything? No, they won't change the system. And neither will the Boule Negroes change that at all. The Boule Negro must be rejected, and he must have, or she must have no voice. Kamala Harris is a Boule Negro. Trust me. Did you see the current article talking about she was going to go with her sorority sisters? That's Boule. Because she feel I need to lean on the Boule to help me out in my campaign. But see, it's not enough Boule members to help Kamala Harris. See, you got to deal with the 90%. That talented 10th is not numerous enough for you to win no election. And you have no influence anymore, Boule. You don't. You are, I'm going to repeat Trump, you are an enemy of black people.
Right.
You are an enemy of the people.
Right.
The black Boule. Every last
That's
one
a
of
fact.
y'all is the enemy of the people. And that's how we also got to brand you as well.
Right.
You gatekeepers, and you're an enemy to black America.
Right.
Because you in high step with racism and white supremacy.
That's a fact.
You don't want us free whatsoever.
Right.
And we got to call you out every chance we get.
Don't fight for reparations
ladies and gentlemen,
for the
I know this is kind of
peoples.
like a longer video. We had to talk about the Boule because the Boule is extremely dangerous. And they're only in it for themselves. They get
Crumbs.
little Negro trinkets while the rest of us get bullets. The rest of us getting gentrified. The rest of us getting a bunch of race soldiers while they living very, very good. And how is it they live so good and their kids live so good in a system and nothing happens to them? But yet they talk. How is it they talk about racism but white people don't hate them? Think about that for a minute. Because usually white folks will start hating you when you start speaking the truth.
Right.
But you could talk about racism all day and you don't have no hate.
Right.
You at all these little events, you speaking here, speaking there. How do you get access to all that?
Right.
How? Because you're part of the Boule. But the time of the black Boule is over.
It's over.
It is over. And
I need
thank
my
God
peoples
it's
to wake
over.
up.
You have no relevance in black America. You don't control black America anymore. We are global now. We're connecting, you know, with our brothers and sisters now. And yes, some of you even allow black immigrants into the Boule as well. But they tell on themselves a little bit faster than maybe you do, okay? Because they don't come from here, so they don't know how to fake it as well and blend into black America. But
Right.
the Boule is done. And we're going to make sure to call you Boule members out every chance
Every
we get.
chance
So
we get.
when you hear me in the commentaries talking about this person's Boule, this person's a gatekeeper, this person is an enemy to black America, trust me, they really are, because they don't want to see us free in any way, shape, or form.
Facts.
Never pay for Wi-Fi again. InstaBridge is a free app with 20 million Wi-Fi passwords all over the world.
All right, y'all. With that being said, I just wanted to shoot that video.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
I just wanted to shoot that video because we're gonna constantly stay on our ass, y'all. We're not part of none of that Boule shit, y'all. You here representing the 90%. of the people that's not going for that bullshit, y'all hear me? We not going for that Boule bullshit, so I need my peoples to wake the fuck up, alright? I need y'all to wake up. The Boule is the enemy. And I told y'all that. The Boule is the fucking enemy, y'all. And I know a lot of us got them in our family, but goddammit, as you would say, when we gonna break the curse? We gonna start by breaking the curse right now, goddammit. The Boule is the enemy, alright? And it's Juneteenth, and I ain't kicking it with none of these niggas. I'm not kicking it with none of these niggas. Because when we was little coming up, I don't remember Juneteenth. God damn it. I don't remember it. So miss me with that bullshit. You house niggas. The Boule is the enemy amongst blacks. I told y'all they here to sell you out. They don't give a damn about you. They gonna take crumbs off the plate to sell you out. Alright? So my younger generation that's out there listening to this video, be aware and be careful who you speak around. Because these niggas is here to sell you out. Alright? Your own peoples. I told you, the black KKK is worse than the white KKK. You see? And that's a 100% fact. I need my peoples to pay attention. I told y'all they not gonna tell y'all the terror alert is at its all-time high. With all these migrants and terrorist cells that's already here. They've been here for 4 years. They done set up shop in different locations. Alright? They done set up shop in different locations. And they're here to sell y'all out. Alright? Talking about the Boule. These house niggas. These old house niggas that been selling y'all out for a long ass time. It been your own peoples, y'all, selling y'all out. It's not the white man. The white man ain't doing a goddamn thing to you. It's your own peoples that's keeping you in bondage. Keeping you a slave to the system. And they'll go out and tell you and me that everything gonna be alright. And in reality, it's not. Alright? They not your friend, but they gonna come out and they gonna have you running out in droves like they did with the pandemic to take a fake ass jab that they didn't even push on the migrants. So be aware, y'all, of these Boule house niggas. Alright? Be aware of these Boule ass house niggas. That's cold, that's caping and capping for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Look out for them niggas, y'all. Straight up. Look out for them niggas, y'all. Straight up, they amongst us, y'all. They amongst us. And I need y'all to get into y'all Scooby-Doo mystery machine and pull the veil back and expose these house niggas, y'all. Y'all gotta expose these house niggas, man. They not here for you. They getting crumbs off the plate. You see, they couldn't wait for slow Joe Biden to get elected so they can continue on getting crumbs off the plate. Because remember, that came to a halt when Donald Trump was the president. Because he seen all the fake shit that was going on. All these house niggas selling their peoples out for crumbs on the goddamn plate. And they've been doing it since slavery, y'all. That shit, I told y'all, that shit date all the way back to slavery. with house niggas and field niggas. You see what I'm saying? And I asked the question. I asked a serious question. Are you a house nigga or are you a field nigga? Which one are you? Choose. Because like I said, we can recognize these old house niggas because they wear their trophy on them. A lot of them do. A lot of them wear their frack, Divine Nine, foolishness. The Masons, the Elks, the Eastern Stars, they wear their shit, y'all. So we can identify them. You see, they think that shit cool. Nah, it's just marking you. Letting the other peoples know who you are. Freemasons, Masons. All them old house niggas. Morning. All them old house niggas, y'all. The Minaret Temple, all these temples. You know, I'm here to wake the peoples up, the mass of the peoples. There go King right there, y'all. I already told y'all King was part of the Boule. But towards the end, he started recognizing what he was doing. Like, damn, hold on. I'm selling my peoples out. I'm talking this we shall overcome bullshit. But yet, I'm selling my peoples out. And see, they caught a whiff of that he was waking up. So what they do? They use them old other house niggas, the Jesse Jacksons and all those motherfucking niggas that was surrounding him, wasn't really protecting him. You see what I'm saying? They wasn't protecting King. Because they wanted his position. They wanted to get the crumbs off the plate from Mr. Charlie in the beginning. Like King was getting. Know what I'm saying? They wanted that. Why you think these house niggas still around? The Al Sharptons and the Jesse Mumblemouth Jacksons. These niggas ain't to be trusted. They never was to be trusted. Maxine Waters and all them motherfucking black niggas that's in power. They ain't to be trusted, y'all. They part of the Boule. They been part of the Boule. They taking crumbs off the plate. They always talk this racism shit. But yet they still in power. Come on, man. They talk this racism shit, but yet they still in power. Fuck out of here. That means they getting crumbs off the plate. From who? Their slave master, y'all. Their slave master. Mr. Charlie. These niggas never fight for the African American community far as they've been fighting for reparations, talking that reparations shit for years. Wouldn't y'all think they would have got reparations by now? Y'all need to pay attention, y'all. And then a couple of them house niggas said, nah, they ain't advocating for reparations. That's off the table. I'm like, wow, but yet, look at all the bills they passing for these migrants that just got here a couple hours ago. And not only that, the LGBT, see, they trying to mix the migrants that they passing all these bills to protect them so they can blend them in with the LGBTQ, queers. You see what I'm saying? I told y'all they tying Juneteenth in with the LGBT. Pay attention, y'all. They tying that shit in together. So when these other countries look at America, they see black Americans as what? Queers, goddammit. Queers. Look at these old house niggas. Look at Billy Porters. The Billy Porter niggas. Look at these niggas, house niggas. Dressing in full drag. Kissing Joe Biden depend hands that he just got finished changing his depends. Wiping his nasty ass. And you come up there and kiss his hand. Goes to show a whole lot about you, my friend. Billy Porter. You queer ass nigga. You hoe ass nigga. Just like the rest of you niggas. Nah, I ain't a part of that shit. I'm not a part of none of that shit, y'all. Fuck that. X me from that shit. I don't want nothing to do with the LGBTQ, and I don't want nothing to do with Juneteenth. I don't want nothing to do with none of that shit. It's all distraction. It's a big ass distraction, y'all. That's all it is a distraction of what's really going on. America is not safe to travel. The terrorist watch is at its all-time high. They not telling y'all. They want to keep y'all dumb, deaf, and blind. And that's what's going on. And the help of these house niggas. Watch them, y'all. I told y'all these house niggas gonna start coming out the goddamn holes, their little rat holes, now, because it's getting critical for election time. It's getting critical, y'all. You're gonna start seeing these house niggas. You starting to see them now. You know what I'm saying? You see them now. The Steve Harveys and all of them niggas is house niggas, y'all. They here to sell y'all out. Keep y'all enslaved. Keep you mentally ill. You feel me? Keep you mentally ill, goddammit. And that's a fact. Don't trust these niggas, y'all. Be aware, y'all. Stay alert.